For the third week in a row, eBay prevailed.
Won't nobody love you the way they should. Won't nobody check up on you, make sure you're good. Won't nobody check those body tremors for your neck.
Hi everyone, my name is Becky Park. I'm a part-time reseller on a variety of reselling platforms, and in today's video I'm going to be talking to you about what sold for me in the week of June 6th through the 12th. Now, it's been a few weeks since I went on vacation, but this was the week, I believe, that we left for our vacation to Hawaii. I was in Hawaii for about a couple weeks. It was a wonderful, wonderful time. And not too long ago, I released a vlog video where I talked about how I prepared for my vacation so that my reselling business wouldn't come to a standstill. Now, to be fair, I have a lot of things working in my favor. One is my sister-in-law, who has some experience with reselling. She was willing to come and ship for me while I was on vacation. So, that's a huge thing. Like, if you sell stuff when you're gone, who's going to ship it for you? And if you don't have anyone to ship it for you, then that's why a lot of people are put in a position where they have to shut down their reselling business for a little bit. And then also there was the question of how do you list while you're on vacation if you don't want to take time out of your vacation time to list, or how do you do all these different things? So in that video, I do share a lot of, the ways that I prepared for my vacation so that I could keep making sales. And this is the first video where you'll be able to hear, so were you able to make any money while on vacation? I'm trying to remember. I think we left on the 8th or something like that. I don't remember exactly. But this video, the next one, the one after that, that'll really be able to shine some light on whether or not sales were, okay, even while I was on vacation. I will say you'll hear, in my totals at the end, my sales for this particular week were comparable to weeks prior. So I think it's safe to say that the steps that I took in preparing for my vacation definitely helped keep the momentum of where my reselling business was at the time. So definitely check out that video if you haven't already. But let's go ahead and jump into this particular week's sales. So starting with June 6th, which was a Monday, the first thing that sold on Poshmark was this Hannah Anderson blue and coral long sleeve rash guard in a size youth 8. I have been selling a lot of swimwear, specifically rash guards, because as I talked about in last week's what sold video, they are a necessity if you're going to be out in the water for a long period of time. They cover a lot more of your body and therefore provide more sun protection. I don't know why it took me so long to get on the rash guard train. Both my kids wear rash guards now. My husband has a rash guard. I am the only one who has yet to find a good rash guard, so still on the hunt for that. But this particular one sold for $17. That was with discounted shipping because of a Chrome extension that I use called Posher VA that sends out offers to likers on my behalf on Poshmark so that I don't have to do it myself. And that item, I made a profit of $11.88. And it was something that I believe I had purchased on Kidizen for my daughter last year. She wore it once or twice, but then she took pictures of it, I listed it, and I'm going to give her that profit. On eBay, I had a great sale. It was the St. John Collection Blue Santana Knit Pull-On Pencil Skirt in a size 2. This sold for $54.90. That was an offer that I had sent out to watchers. It was promoted at 3%, and best of all, my mother-in-law gave that to me for free. I don't know where she got it. I don't remember ever seeing her wearing stuff like this. Maybe she wore it in a past life. I don't know. But I made a profit of $46.18 on that because I had $0 into my cost of goods. St. John is a great brand. I kept having this lady offer me $30, $40. She was aggressively sending me many lowball offers, and finally I think she accepted the $54.90. And I remember that transaction going through on one of the last days that we were in town, because I had just dropped off my son at school. I had 8 million things that I was trying to take care of, but then that sale, finally went through, and I was like, yippee! The next thing to sell was this pair of new with tags Chico's fabulously slimming taupe dress pants in a size small short. These sold for my full asking price of $34.99. By no means was this a quick flip. I've had these listed for, I want to say 2 years. I had 80 cents into them because that was my average cost of goods when I had a really great sourcing opportunity about 2 years ago to shop a local consignment store's storage unit by myself during the height of COVID. And so, it's not like it was a quick flip, but I was able to sell it for a very good amount, and I made a profit of $32.34. This line by Chico's, Fabulously Slimming, it can do really well. Typically in the bigger sizes, but even this smaller size, it only took a couple years, but it did sell for $35. The next thing to sell was a pair of Signature Slimming by CJ Banks white pull-on capri pants in a size 16. These were promoted at 3%. They sold for $12. I had $3.92 into them because they were part of a wholesale pallet that I purchased from a reseller. I only made $4.66. The only reason I even listed those is because I don't have a lot of experience with CJ Banks. I just kind of wanted to see what was up with them. They sold quickly, but I only made a profit of $4.66. So there you go. On Tuesday, which was June 7th, I had one sale, and this was for a Liz Claiborne Woman, that was the whole brand name, coral chevron print one button blazer in a size 1X. Again, I don't go out of my way to pick up Liz Claiborne, but this was a part of that same wholesale pallet that I purchased from that reseller. So it sold for $20. I had $3.92 into it. I made a profit of $12.08. This is not a brand that I would typically pick up, but because it was plus size as well, I went ahead and listed it versus, trying to consign it at like a pop-up consignment sale or something. And it did okay. I still probably will not be picking up Liz Claiborne, even if it is plus size. All right, so moving on to Wednesday, which was June 8th. I believe at this time we were in Hawaii, living it up, having a great time, and I was making sales. So the first thing to sell on the 8th was by the brand, I'm going to butcher this, I'm so sorry, Sachin and Bobby. I don't know if I'm saying that right. This is a brand that is, I believe, sometimes sold at Anthropologie. Do not quote me on that, but it's actually a really good brand. When I first saw the dress as I was going through this buyout that I had purchased, I didn't really think much of it. It didn't seem like it was that high quality of a piece, but it's this blue silk blend Swiss dot pleated sleeveless dress in a size 6. So yeah, like I said, when I was first kind of like, just kind of touching it and trying to figure it out, I mean, it felt lightweight, it had like that Swiss dot exterior, so I didn't really like get the silk piece of it yet. I don't know, it just seemed like a whatever dress. But then when I looked at comps, I was like, okay, this is actually a pretty good brand. And it was a brand that I had not heard of before. So if you ever come across this brand, again, it's like Sachin and Bobby, Sachin and Baby, not sure how to pronounce it. Definitely give it a second look. This dress actually sold for $40 on Poshmark. It was a part, like I said, of that reseller buyout, so my cost of goods per item was only $1.02. And so I made a profit of $30.98 on that. Not too shabby, especially when you're on vacation. On eBay, I sold this pair of Zoic, which is, I think it's like a biking brand, like for people who like to go cycling and stuff. But it was this pair of gray elastic waist athletic shorts in a size medium. Those sold for $12. They were part of the wholesale pallet that I purchased from a reseller, and so my average cost of goods per item in that wholesale lot was $3.92, and so I made a profit of $6.71. That particular pair of shorts, I believe I had started listings and set them to go live later on before I left for the trip. That was one of the things that I talked about in that video about how I prepared for my vacation. Was I, prepped a bunch of listings and scheduled them to go live while I was on vacation, and that way I could have new things being listed even while I was out in the sun having a good time, but I didn't have to sit there at my computer and like manually make that happen. And then as a result, I made that sale, which is really cool. I had a really great Depop sale this day. It was by the brand Giorgio Brutini, which I had never heard of, but I just came across these at a local thrift store and thought that they were super in style. They're like that fisherman style open sandal. They were made of leather. I believe they were made in Italy. They just look like very, very high quality, and they were in a men's size 10.5. So I picked them up for $2.99, if you can believe it. This particular thrift store that I like to go to often has really great pricing, and they sold on Depop for $68. So I made a profit of $46.93. These fisherman sandals are such a trendy look right now. If you see them for men, for women, especially if it's high quality leather. Oftentimes the brand doesn't even matter, although I think this was the combination of like high-end brand, good materials, and also on trend. So it was the perfect trifecta. I wanted to take a brief moment to talk about today's video sponsor, which is Skillshare. As you guys know, I have been really enjoying the classes that I've been taking through Skillshare because they have a variety and plethora of classes that you can take on basically any topic that you're excited about. For example, they have classes right now on how to play the piano, how to print your artwork into fabric, and even how to make and mint NFTs, which is actually a class that I took, even though it has nothing to do with reselling or even with my full-time job, which is teaching choir to high schoolers. But I had just been hearing so much about NFTs that I really wanted to see what it was all about, and so I took a class from People Pleaser just to learn at least what it was so I could have a conversation about it with other people. And this is the power of Skillshare, is that you can literally take an online class about any topic you want under the sun. So if you want to try Skillshare yourself, the first 1,000 people to use the link in my description below or my code, which is just Becky Park on Poshmark, will actually get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So definitely take advantage of that code down in the description below. Try out Skillshare for yourself. Again, you will have access to classes about so many different topics, things that you may have always wanted to learn about or learn how to do, but just never had the means to learn about those things until now. So definitely check out that link below. Use my code Becky Park on Poshmark so that you can get that free month trial. On Thursday, June 9th, I had one sale. So just a second ago, I talked about how before I went on vacation, I scheduled a lot of listings to go live while on vacation. That is really easy to do on eBay because on eBay, I believe you can schedule things out like at least 2 weeks in advance, if not even more. I want to say maybe even up to a month in advance or something like that. On Poshmark, they have this feature called dropping soon, which means you can schedule something out and it'll show up on Poshmark, but it's like a teaser. So it's basically telling everyone, hey, this is going to hit my closet, just not yet. I personally don't get the appeal of it, but whatever. The annoying thing about that feature, however, and the reason why I wasn't able to use it in the same very hands-off way that I did eBay is because they only let you schedule it out for, I want to say, as far as like a week in advance. And so I ended up just saving drafts in Poshmark and then pushing those live, pushing a handful live every day that I was in Hawaii. And I only actually stored up enough for like 3 or 4 days worth because I didn't do that much prep work in terms of scheduling things out. But regardless, this is one of those things that I pushed live from my drafts on Poshmark, and literally like the next day it sold. So it's this Nike Fit Dry green and white workout tank in a size extra large. It's definitely a much older piece, but it still sold, like I said, super fast for $16. I had $3.92 into it because it was part of that wholesale pallet. I also had offered discounted shipping on that, so I only made a profit of $6.20, but it was a quick flip, so I'll take it. Moving on to Friday, which was June 10th, I sold on Poshmark this Greg Norman golf short sleeve polka dot polo shirt in a size extra large. I have actually a pink Greg Norman golf polo that I'm gonna have go up in my next whatnot sale that's like waiting over there. But this sold for $17 with discounted shipping. I had $3.92 into it, so I made a profit of $7.96. Golf stuff has been selling so well, so if you have any golf stuff or if you find any golf stuff at the bins or something really cheap, pick it up. It's, oh my gosh, it's selling like crazy. On eBay, I sold this really random thing. It was this pair of Angry Birds graphic Game On swim trunks in a size 12 months. These I picked up at a Goodwill, I don't know, like 2-3 years ago, a long time ago. Probably have like $3 into them. I sold them for $7.90. That was an offer that I sent out to watchers. It was promoted at 3%. I made a profit of $4.65. I remember that summer hearing someone say like, you need to have so much swimwear in your closet and in your store. And I was like, okay. And I bought like every piece of swimwear I could find at the store, and like none of it sold. It just, it's not just swimwear that will sell. You have to have the right stuff. It has to be on trend. You have to price it well. And Angry Birds 3 years ago, it was not a necessity. So just a really good reminder that you cannot just take things that people like myself or other YouTubers say at face value. You have to take everything with a grain of salt, because just because something works for one person does not guarantee that it's going to work for you or for someone else. I would definitely test the waters before going all in on anything that any reseller says. The next thing that sold was a pretty good sale, I think. It was this Brooks Brothers Elliott Genuine Seersucker striped pair of pants in a size 32 by 32. These I got in a men's Third Up Rescue box a long time ago. Maybe not that long ago, but I just hadn't listed them yet because I hadn't gotten around to steaming them, but I finally did, listed them. They sold for my full asking price of $34.99, and they sold pretty quickly, so I thought that that was a really good sale, and I made a profit of $26.34. Brooks Brothers is on my list of men's bread and butter brands that sell really well, just because it's one of like the higher mall brands, I feel like, that are offered for men, and they just have really high quality stuff, and their stuff retails for a ton in the store. So if you find good quality Brooks Brothers pieces, I think that they're a good pickup. The next day of sales that we'll talk about is June 11th, which was a Saturday. On Poshmark, I sold this pair of J. Crew black high-rise scallop shorts in a size 2. These sold for $12, which isn't that much, but I didn't even have these listed for very much because they were kind of faded due to wash wear. They did sell with a shipping discount because of Posh VA, and so I made a profit of $7.33 on those. The next thing to sell was this new with tags Calia by Carrie Underwood white high neck swim top. It was striped. It was in a size medium. At first I thought it was a sports bra, but then I realized that it was actually a swim top. And I kind of personally hate selling, like if it's a bikini top or just like a swim bottom. I don't know. I just like selling things in sets because for me personally, it's so hard to find, matching styles if they're not being sold together. But with this piece I had no choice because it was in the wholesale palette. So it sold for $16. I had $3.92 into it. I made a profit of $8.88, which is not a killing, but it is money. The next thing to sell was over on eBay. It was this Wilson Youth RHT hold tight strap. I don't know what any of this means, you guys. Baseball glove, George Brett. I don't know. There were just all these things in my listing title for this glove. I don't know where this glove came from. I'm 99% sure that I did not buy it anywhere. It just showed up at my house. For some reason, I think that it's my brother's, and when we did like a joint garage sale, it didn't sell, and so he just never took it home, so I just listed it. I don't know. It's been listed for a very long time, like a ridiculously long time. It sold for $19.99. It was promoted at 3%, so I made a profit of $19.18. And then on Kidizen, I sold a bundle of 2 items. One of the items was a listing that I had just listed right before my trip. It was this pair of cut from the cloth, straight leg, mid-rise jeans in a size 8 petite. I personally don't pick up cut from the cloth anymore just because my experience with it in the past hasn't been very good, but I also feel like lately I've been hearing about more people selling it better, so maybe it's one of those things that I will start picking up in the near future if I can find it for cheap. Let me know what your experience with cut from the cloth is like. But again, this was something that was in that wholesale palette, which is the reason why I went ahead and listed them. And I had $3.92 into those. The next item in this bundle to sell was this Norm Thompson 100% wool cable knit cardigan in a women's size medium petite. This one came from a different reseller buyout, and I had $1.02 into that. So when I saw that someone had bundled the 2 items together, I sent them an offer of $55. They accepted, and so after shipping, because on Kidizen I do free shipping and I build the cost of shipping into the items, after shipping and fees, my net profit came out to $33.16. On Sunday, I had a Poshmark sale, and it was this pair of Hollister Classic Fit Epic Flex khaki chino shorts in a men's size 30. I don't personally sell a lot of Hollister. I don't pick it up. I don't feel like it has a very high resale value. However, these were part of a reseller buyout, and so I had $1.02 into them, and these sold for $20, which is not too shabby for Hollister. So I made a profit of $14.98, and those sold fairly quickly. I feel like these chino shorts are a classic in most men's wardrobes, so, you know, they're bound to sell. Now, how much they sell for is another story, but they'll sell at some point. The next thing to sell, and the last thing that we'll talk about, was over on eBay, and it was this J. Jill Wherever Collection chevron print sleeveless v-neck dress in a size medium. This is an item that I had go live while I was on vacation, so it was really great to see in real time the effects of the preparation that I had put into this vacation. You know, the fact that I had scheduled these listings out, the fact that I had, just all these different things, and then to see those things come to fruition, that was pretty cool. So this sold for $22. It was promoted at 3%. I had $1.02 into it because it was part of a reseller buyout, and I made a profit of $17.22. So the majority of the sales that we talked about in this week were made while I was in Hawaii. My sister-in-law was at home shipping them for me. I had listings that I had worked on before going on vacation, going live while I was on vacation. And the one thing that I haven't talked about in this video that I did to prep for this vacation as well was I sent a box of stuff into eBliss. They are a company that will ship for you. So typically when people decide to work with them, they give them all of their inventory. So literally all you do is you source and then you send them your inventory, and when something sells, they will ship it for you. So it's like a perfect combination of like having a storage unit and a shipping service combined, if you will. They call themselves like the Amazon FBA of resellers. So I do send them a box every month of stuff. And the really nice thing about that is when they get it, they push those listings live. And then there'll be like a random day that like these 20 items go up for sale. And I usually get a nice little surge of sales that way too. And that's what I did. I sent them a box right before I left on vacation so that while I was on vacation, that box would go live. Some of the items from that box would hopefully sell, and that's exactly what happened this week. Those Giorgio Brutini sandals, those fisherman sandals, the Brooks Brothers pants, those were part of the 20 items that I had sent them. So my plan worked beautifully. There were more sales even in the weeks to come. So yeah, all the prep work definitely paid off, and I was able to earn some money while on vacation. How much money? Let's find out. So on Poshmark, I sold 8 items, and that was for a gross sales amount of $158. Once you factor in Poshmark's 20% fees and any shipping discounts that I had offered, that total dropped to $118.01. I had $17.72 as my cost of goods, and so my net profit from Poshmark was $100.29. On eBay, I also sold 8 items, and that was for a gross sales amount of $198.77. Once you factor in shipping and fees, that total dropped to $173.94. My cost of goods was $15.66 for those 8 items, and so I made a net profit of $158.28. This is also, I want to say, like the 3rd or 4th week in a row that eBay beat out Poshmark. I sold the same number of items on eBay as Poshmark this week, but I made more money on eBay. So eBay has been killing it this summer for me, and by killing it I mean just beating Poshmark, not necessarily performing extraordinarily well. On Depop, I had one sale. The gross sales amount was $68. Once you factor in shipping and fees, that total drops all the way down to $49.92 because my shipping was quite expensive on those for whatever reason. The cost of goods, however, was really low at $2.99, and so I still made a net profit of $46.93 on that pair of sandals. On Kidizen, I sold 2 items for a gross sales amount of $55. Once you factor in shipping on Kidizen and my fees, that total drops to $39.10. My cost of goods for those 2 items was $5.94, and so I made a net profit of $33.16. So in total, while on vacation, I sold 19 items for a gross sales amount of $479.77. Once you factor in shipping and platform fees, that total drops to $380.97. My cost of goods for those 19 items was $42.31. So that week, while I started my vacation in Hawaii, I made a net profit of $338.66. Now, from the perspective of my own reselling journey, that's not amazing. However, it is very in line with how I had been doing in the weeks prior. So what I will say is that while it's not like a very impressive number as far as my net profit is concerned, it's definitely in line with what I had been doing as far as numbers in the weeks prior. And that's exactly what I had hoped for when I prepared for my upcoming vacation. And so I'm really proud of that. Next week's video will give you an even better idea of how I was able to do while on vacation, because that entire week I was on vacation, whereas this week that we just talked about, I think a couple of days I was home and then I left. But yeah, I think that doing a little bit of extra work before going on vacation can really save your reselling business from kind of tanking while you're having a good time. And I don't think there's anything wrong either with just like putting your store on vacation mode, just like really forgetting about your reselling business. I don't think there's anything wrong with truly taking a break from it either. It's just that for me, I knew personally that even while on vacation, I would stress out then about how hard it was going to be for me to, kind of reignite my sales once I came back. And I didn't want to stress out about that. That's why for me, it was worth it to put in more work before leaving, even though it made, the process of getting ready for vacation quite stressful, to be honest. I thought that was worth it to not lose any momentum during the trip and once we came back. So that's what my sales week looked like. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!